So a couple people have asked me about some of the things I'm doing in my other video where I'm messing around with triplets, and so I'm just going to explain a couple things about that. Basically, I'm just doing two things. I'm either messing around with triplets in groups of 2 or 4, which is kind of the same concept, because there's 12 triplets in a bar of 4, 4, and so normally you'd have 4 beats of 3 triplets, but when you do it this way, when you organize them in groups of 2 or 4, it's like you have 3 beats of 4 triplets. And so it's like an implied 3-4. And that sounds like this. Here I'll play first the triplets in 4 beats of 3 in 4-4, and then I'll flip it. So you can hear that, and so it's like an implied 3 over 4, and triplets are how you get there. And the other thing I'm doing is triplets in groups of 5, which I'm not quite as good at yet, because it makes a little bit less sense since it doesn't fit into one measure the way triplets in groups of 3 do. But the things you can do with triplets in groups of 3 are like, take any kind of hip-hop beat, which has like an implied like bounce to it, which you can translate as like triplet pickups. So like you can take that triplety kind of thing and work with this polyrhythm over it. So for example, I'm going to play the 3 over 4 thing with my right hand in the implied 3-4 and the rest of my limbs in the old 4-4. So that would be like this. And that's really the same thing. I'm only playing groups of I'm only playing 3 triplets, but there's a rest of 1 triplet, so it's really triplets in groups of 4, which is 3 over 4. Then there's lots of stuff you can do that. Like it works really well if you're doing like a Purdy shuffle, which if you don't know how to do, there's lots of videos on YouTube where you can do it. But that's this beat. Here in that beat, your hands are playing a triplet. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 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 etc. And so you can mess with this kind of like implied 3-4 over that, like this. What I usually do, which sounds really cool if you use it in very limited doses when you're actually playing with people, is to actually put the bass drum with what your right hand starts doing in that. So both your bass drum and your right hand are in the polyrhythm, and the only thing that's left in your original 4-4 is your left hand. That sounds real. It's in small doses. It's pretty cool. You can hear when I'm doing that my right hand is playing every other triplet. And then every other triplet, so like every 4th triplet, I'm accenting. The triplets that aren't in the right hand, and let me remind you that what I'm doing here is essentially breaking the triplet up into groups of 2, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. It's really the same as breaking up in 4 in terms of what you hear. And so every 4th triplet is accented, and then the unaccented ones I'm putting the bass drum on. And then the other ones my left hand is on, and then it's accenting the ones that fall on 2 and 4. So by itself, my left hand is just playing 2 quarter note triplets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So you're still in 4. So put the bass drum with the right hand sounds like this. Then when it gets really cool is do what I was just doing with the bass drum. Do that with your left foot, and then keep everything else the same. Well, I'm going to take my right foot out of it for now. Use my hi-hat foot, what my bass drum foot was just doing, and move my right hand to the ride cymbal so you can hear what my left foot is doing. So that sounds like this. And I'll go through the progression. I'll play the pretty beat, then I'll play it with the bass drum, and then I'll play it with the hi-hat. Back in, bass drum's in 4. I'm just playing. So that's how you do that. And then as far as and that's a lot of the stuff I do with triplets in 4.
Hey, I know it's unnaturally hot in there. Can you close the window? Because I'm trying to practice in the other room and 2 drum beats together. It's like weird.
Say what? Okay, the other thing I do is triplets in groups of 5. Which is a little bit more difficult, and I don't have yet any crazy beats to show you involving that. But a good way to start doing that is to play in 4, and then play 3 triplets on the snare drum and 2 in the bass drum, and then just fill up a measure playing like that. So. And that at the end was like a little bit of the 4 mixed with a little bit of the 5. And so the thing with these odd groupings of triplets is you find ways to play them at first that make conceptual sense to you, even if you can't feel it, and then practice them with the metronome. And once you start to hear them, then they just come out and you're playing. And then, you know, like then you can just sort of like riff on triplet licks.